Nestled among rolling hills and swaying palm trees lies the village of Udo, a place where the sun always seems to shine a little brighter, and the laughter of children echoes through the air. Here, in this peaceful haven, lives Amora, a young woman as beautiful as the blooming hibiscus and as kind as the morning dew. Her mother, Mama Uche, the village's wise herbalist, is known far and wide for her healing hands and gentle spirit. Together, they are the heart of this close-knit community, a place ruled by the venerable King Is, whose wisdom has kept Udo safe and prosperous for many years. But in the shadows of his throne, a secret waits, threatening to unravel the peace they've all come to cherish. All was not well in the village of Udo. The once lush fields, green with life, began to wither under a sun that seemed harsher than before. Livestock, healthy and strong, suddenly fell ill, and an unfamiliar sickness spread through the village like a creeping shadow. Mama Uche felt the shift in the air, her heart heavy with unspoken fears. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. And as the villagers whispered of omens and curses, Prince Obina returned, his heart full of love for his people, yet unaware of the darkness that had begun to creep into their lives and into his own home. In the dead of night, King Is lay awake, haunted by the choices of his past. Long ago, in the twilight of his youth, he made a pact with a spirit as old as the earth itself. In exchange for the prosperity of his people, he gave away a piece of his soul, binding himself and the village to a dark and terrible secret. Now, as the time for the final sacrifice drew near, the weight of his actions crushed him like an iron shackle. Mama Uche, ever wise, had begun to piece together the truth, her heart pounding with dread as she unraveled the dark web of lies that had ensnared them all. And as the truth clawed its way to the surface, King Is stood at the precipice, facing the abyss he himself had opened. Mama Uche could no longer remain silent. The truth, once buried deep in the shadows, had begun to surface, threatening to tear the village apart. She stormed into the palace, her voice echoing through the grand hall. "You must tell them, Is. Tell them what you've done." The king, once proud and strong, now seemed to shrink under the weight of his guilt, his voice trembling as he denied, delayed, but could not deflect the truth. Meanwhile, Prince Obina, his heart heavy with doubt, began to piece together the puzzle, each clue leading him closer to a devastating realization. In the village square, the people gathered, their faces etched with fear and confusion as the truth spread like wildfire. The peace they had known was shattered, and the shadow of the dark pact loomed over them all. The hour of reckoning had arrived. Prince Obina and Amora stood at the mouth of the dark cave, the spirit's lair, where shadows danced and whispers of ancient power filled the air. The village, their beloved Udo, was in peril. A storm of darkness raged, tearing through the heart of the community they had sworn to protect. But there was no turning back now. With courage born of love and desperation, they stepped into the abyss, the spirit's presence growing stronger with each step. The final confrontation was at hand, a battle not just for their lives, but for the soul of the village. As the spirit loomed before them, its power crackling in the air, Prince Obina knew that this was the moment. Everything would be decided here, in this place, where light met darkness, and courage met fear. The storm had passed, and with it, the darkness that had threatened the village of Udo. The sun rose once more, casting a golden light over the land as the villagers, united in hope, began the work of rebuilding. Their hands were weary, but their hearts were light, for they knew that the worst was behind them. In the village square, Prince Obina stood tall, the weight of the crown on his head a reminder of the responsibility he now bore. As the new king, he vowed to lead with wisdom and courage, to guide his people through whatever challenges lay ahead. And beside him stood Amora, her heart full.